Got some readers in here. Who's reading? Anybody reading the novels? Yeah. I like learning about the author and then reading the novel, because then like you figure out what they're trying to say, the subtext of the story, and Picture of Dorian Gray, Catcher in the Rye, and it's cool because you learn about who they are, and then you read the book and you're like, oh, I get it, you're gay. Yeah, you just wanted to suck dick the whole fucking time. I get it. Picture of Dorian Gray, picture of Dorian Gay. He goes out, he does a bunch of gay shit, he comes back with more penises on the painting, and no one notices, but he's fucking yada, Okay, not a big Oscar Wilde crowd here. Okay, alright.
I've been looking so long at these pictures of you that I almost believe they're real. I've been living so long with my pictures of you, but I almost believe that the pictures are all I can feel.
Welcome to the Jordan Leer program. Welcome to the book report. The Picture of Dorian Gray. Oscar Wilde. Got a little book report of your own coming up, huh? You some college kid, you in some English 101, you didn't read your fucking shit because you're fucking getting laid all week, you're banging some pussy on Monday, you're sucking some dick on Tuesday, you're doing some they-them on Wednesday, doing whatever the fuck you gotta do, you got too much fucking shit going on, you didn't read the shit. I'll tell you everything that happened in The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I read this book, and I had the same feeling I feel when I read a lot of the classic novels. When I get done, I'm like, that's the best book I've ever read. My life has changed since I read it. I think about art differently now. Holy shit. Yeah. Anytime I give the A-OK on a book, that's the way I feel. I'm like, that's the best book I've ever read in my life. Because it was the last one I read. And I can say I read a book. I really did. I loved The Picture of Dorian Gray. I'm fascinated with Oscar Wilde as an artist. The Picture of Dorian Gray, it's the thing where the painting, this dude, he's beautiful. He looks like Jordan Leer. He's the Jordan Leer program. And someone paints him, and the painting fucking changes as he ages, and yet the person doesn't age. He stays perfect and angelic, just like me with my god darn jawline, just getting better with age, Sometimes you have a late testosterone breakout in your 30s that should have came on when you're 18 and you're working through it, but hey, you get some muscles going on. Anyways, this isn't about me, except it is, which is one of those things that Oscar Wilde talks about in this book, where Dorian Gray is like, it seems like all the art that I've ever read, it just is my life, which is a freaky fucking thing when you're thinking about the simulation and destiny. Anyways, okay. This was written and published 1890, 1891-ish by Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde was born in Dublin, Ireland in 1854. But he's not like Irish at all. You can tell how much he refutes his Irishness. He's like upper class English in the way he writes, the way he talks, the way he lived. Oscar Wilde was this gay dude who also went to jail for being gay. A lot of his later years in life, he's like in trials and shit because he was banging some dude whose dad was some upper dude who fucking hated gay people, so he hated his son. He felt like, fuck you and fuck Oscar Wilde. And, it's one of those artists, where it's really in the fucking text about this shit, because Dorian Gray's all about a guy living a double life, in a way. Me coming into this, the only thing I ever knew about Dorian Gray was League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. With Sean Connery, and they got all these characters from classic novels, and they had the Dorian Gray character, and I just knew the painting thing because the dude was like bulletproof in that version of the movie, and his painting, you never saw it, and then at the end he sees it, and it's crazy looking, and then he dies, and the painting is restored. Anyway, that's all I knew about it, So, but I was like, what's the story? What's the gist? What is this shit? Oscar Wilde, there's a lot of good versus bad. It's just that old thing. Sell your soul to the devil. It's good versus bad. It does doing good shit make a difference in the world? Does doing bad shit make a difference in the world? There's a lot of men versus women themes throughout this. A lot of characters just pontificating about the gender roles and the differences between them and what you should do with your life. Most people thought this book sucked for a long time. Like, I don't know, when he died, it's not like Dorian Gray was like one of the best books of all time back then. Now it is. Now it's like, oh, you better fucking read this. They teach classes on this, and it's always like that. It's always like that when something is the shit. What else we got before I jump into this? Okay, some notes on Oscar Wilde. He's got like 3 notable works, and they're in different mediums, if you will. They're all writing, but he's got this, and he's got the play, The Importance of Being Earnest, and then he has this really great poem called the Ballad of Reading Jail, or Gal, depending on how you pronounce it, which he wrote in jail. And it's a fucking heavy metal deal about, he's talking about this guy who's in prison for killing his wife, and he keeps repeating the statement, each man kills the thing he loves. Anyways, it's just interesting that he's got like one great novel and one great poem, one great play. He's not like Tennessee Williams with a bunch of plays. He's not like John Steinbeck or Michael Crichton with a bunch of novels. He just dibbles and dabbles. And then I come to learn that's kind of his whole thing. Like, he's part of this sort of art movement that favors beauty over the function of it, and he's real big. And even in the preface of the book, I'll get to it, where he's talking about the purpose of art and how it's like art isn't moral or not moral. It's not good or bad. It's just either well done or it's shitty, and his words, not mine. And he's like, but it doesn't like influence people, It's like rap music and video games ain't fucking causing the Columbine shooters. It's the parents. Fuck you. Sometimes the art is just telling you what's going on in society. It's not fucking, What is the truth to all that? I don't know. It's very intertwined. And if you pick one stance, you're fucking wrong. That's the way I feel about it. We're all floating through this intermixed thing. Anyways, the kids at home who were banging pussy and sucking dick and fucking getting a little they in there, they're pissed because I haven't even talked about the book yet. Would you like me to? Or would you first like me to tell you that Oscar Wilde's ex-girlfriend later married Bram Stoker, the guy who wrote fucking Dracula? Whoa, that girl liked some literary dick. Who can blame her? Don't we all? Oscar Wilde died when he was like 46, drunk, alone, and impoverished and penniless. And he had this quote, "My wallpaper and I are fighting a duel to the death. One of us has to go." Am I setting this dude up enough? I don't know. It's like I read the picture of Dorian Gray and then I jump over to Oscar Wilde like in the middle of it, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy is fucking awesome. What a life. It sucks that he died like that, but it's cool for the story. It's going to make for a good movie. Let me read the preface, because this is one of those things where I read it, and you just know in a book very early on if you're in or you're fucking out, if it's going to be heavy work to do or not, if you're going to go, lick some dick and bang some pussy all week, or actually read this shit for your English 101 class. Oscar Wilde says, now mind you, I think he wrote this preface, maybe while he was on trial for his fucking crimes and shit. And a lot of shit got edited out of this book, including stuff that was way gayer, way more of the actual homosexual, stuff going on and themes alluded to. Because, fuck, man, it was the 1800s. They were trying to kill a motherfucker. Put him in jail for banging some fucking dick and licking balls. It's bullshit. Anyways, he says, the artist is the creator of beautiful things. To reveal art and conceal the artist is art's aim. The critic is he who can The critic is he who can translate into another manner or a new material his impression of beautiful things. The highest as the lowest form of criticism is a mode of autobiography. Those who find ugly meanings in beautiful things are corrupt without being charming. This is a fault. Those who find beautiful things in beautiful things are the cultivated. For these there is hope. They are the elect to whom beautiful things mean only beauty. There is no such thing as a moral or an immoral book. Books are well written or badly written. That is all. The 19th century dislike of realism is the rage of Caliban seeing his own face in a glass. The 19th century dislike of romanticism is the rage of Caliban not seeing his own face in a glass. I don't know who the fuck Caliban is, but I kind of get the vibes, I gotta tell you. He's talking some shit about realism in art and impressionism, which is an age-old fucking tale, and especially in terms of like performance art and stand-up comedy and acting, where people are always striving for realism. I'm like, pump the brakes, little bitch. Nicolas Cage ain't so wrong in what the fuck he's doing either. You know, face that off. Does that make sense to anyone else? All right. The moral of life forms part of the subject matter of the artist. But the morality of art consists in the perfect use of an imperfect medium. I fucking love that. That's where I'm like, I'm hung up on that. The moral life of man forms part of the subject matter of the art. It's like, yeah, you're writing about your fucking life, but the morality of art, it's like, ooh, now is this good or bad? Is the perfect use of an imperfect medium. That's why rock and roll, when you just like, all you have is your phone and your guitar to record some fucking shit, is cooler than everyone fucking redubbing it and putting 12 different opinions on how the beat should fucking go. Taylor Snizzle. I ain't talking shit about her. I'm just saying, fuck. It's different. No artist desires to prove anything. Amen. Even things that are true can be proved. No artist has ethical sympathies. An ethical sympathy in an artist is an unpardonable mannerism of style. That's what I'm saying. When people are like, I tell fucked up jokes and people are like, you think that? I'm like, no, but what? Like, it's a thought. Obviously, you fucking think it, but it's not like I believe or would do. Like, you're just talking shit. And based on the situation, judge it for the art and what it says about society. Don't fucking come at. Why? Who's arguing with me? Who am I arguing with? I love this preface. No artist is ever morbid. The artist can express everything. Thought and language are to the artist instruments of an art. Vice and virtue are to the artist materials for an art. From the point of view of form, the type of all the arts is the art of the musician. From the point of view of feeling, the actor's craft is the type. So that's where people get rigid and putting acting on fucking realism, but it's a way more open-ended thing than that. All art is at once surface and symbol. Though I'm almost done, I swear. And then we'll get into the book about the painting and who looks what and is he sucking dick, is it a dead or not. Those who go beneath the surface do so at their peril. Those who read the symbol do so at their peril. It is the spectator and not life that art really mirrors. That's what I'm saying. Fucking fuck asses. Diversity of opinion about a work of art shows that the work is new, complex, and vital. Yeah, well, that's why you gotta embrace the haters with open arms, man. It's a conversation that we should be having. When critics disagree, the art is in accord with him. When critics disagree, the artist is in accord with himself. I love that. If you're making people disagree, that means you're working. We can forgive a man for making a useful thing as long as he does not admire it. The only excuse for making a useless thing is that one admires it intensely. All art is quite useless. I believe that. Useless. That's why I love art, and I dedicate so much time to do. I'm obsessed with other people's art, but it ain't shit. And you know what else? Nothing is shit. Nothing is important. That's not an excuse to live in debauchery and be depraved and be evil. I'm certainly not. More than anything, it's a reason to fucking be really good and try and, only be good and peaceful. But it's my philosophy. Take that. When you get precious, that's when you start getting fucking evil about shit. All right, am I going to talk about this book? I mean, what are you going to do with that preface? They were trying to pin him down for being gay in trials, so he wrote that to be like, hey, quit judging my shit. It's in the book. It's like, it's in the book now. I'm telling you now, it's fucking in there. Jeez, Sal. All right, are we ready to get into the picture of Dorian Gray and what happens? I believe we are. I believe we've prefaced it up. All right. We start in Victorian England, which means uppity schmuppity flappity. These people don't shit outside fucking ever. Back then it was a big deal. Victorian England. This dude wanted to fucking be upper class English. He was born like some fucking Irish dude. He's pretty educated though, Anyways, we're in Victorian England. We got Dorian Gray is with this painter that's painting Dorian Gray. Right away, we're into the fucking shit. Okay? Basil Howard, his name, is painting Dorian Gray because Dorian Gray is beautiful. Dorian Gray is Jordan Leer. He's me. He is a timeless wonder. Everyone wants to see him. Okay? So Basil's painting him, and they're buddies. He's like, the old school photographer. He's like, oh, I find a good looking motherfucker. I need to keep this fucking guy. Paint him. And then this dude, Henry Wotton, is watching. And he's like, what's the deal? And Henry meets Dorian. He's like, oh, you're some good looking guy. And this dude paints, yeah, cool. And they start philosophizing about life. Okay. And Basil's the painter's a very reserved dude. He's chill. He's just chill. He just loves to paint. He's like Bob Ross, fucking pretty flowers. I don't give a fuck. Dorian Gray too. He's pretty docile, chill. Like, oh yeah, I'm pretty. I'm just living this life. Life comes easy to me because I'm so fucking good looking. And it's probably one of these fucking rich kids. Really, they are all these rich kids. And Henry's Wotton starts being like, "You're pretty good looking. You ever fucking go sling some dick? You go fucking." You get your rocks off, you hit the dance floor, and Dorian's like, nah, keep it pretty chill. And he's like, man, fuck, ain't gonna be like this forever. You better go out there and fucking sling some dick, just like the kids that didn't read this fucking book this week, And Dorian's like, oh, that's interesting. What do you think? And Basil's like, I don't know. I just fucking like to paint. Henry, you're cool, but you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Whatever. And Henry's like, man, I get fucked up and I get my dick on and I blaze my dick up and you should do it, Dorian. And Dorian's like, I don't know. And he's talking about how beautiful he is. It's like, dude, you just got this time. And then he finishes the painting and Dorian looks at it. He's like, it is kick ass. I do look good. Well done, Basil. I look so hot. I'm beautiful. I'm the best looking motherfucker. It's how I wake up every single day and walk down the street. Okay, that's how I am. And then he kind of gets a little sad. He's like, oh shit, you're right, dude. Henry over here talking shit, fucking devil on one shoulder, angel on the other. He's like, I am gonna get older. And he's like, fuck it, I really wish the painting would get older and not me. He wishes that. He doesn't realize it, but he's like, I'm making a deal with the devil. He's like, dude, I would just do anything. What I would give if that thing aged and I could just keep this shit. Oh my God. And so, okay, finish the painting. That's that. And Dorian goes about his way. And he's thinking about what Henry said about getting his dick blazed up all the time, and fucking, maybe taking some shots, maybe smoking a little pot, maybe tossing up some fucking Marlboro Reds or some Grizzly Adams in there, and he's just thinking about it. And he's one of these rich kids, gets tossed around Soho and fucking dabbles in Brooklyn. He just does whatever. He meets this hot chick named Sybil Vane. She's an actress. I don't fucking date actresses. I've never dated actresses, never dated comics. You don't fucking do it. You know why? Because they're losers. They're either losers going nowhere, or they come from rich families, and so they don't have the fucking talent or the drive to pull out the talent out of it. It's because they're just some rich fucking kid. Anyways, they're just like, they're non-player fucking Sims. You know what I mean? Dorian falls in love with them because she's hot. He's like, I saw Romeo and Juliet. It's fucking hot or some shit. She's hot. And he proposes to marry her. And she is like, this dude is so hot. I'm Juliet. This is the real Romeo. Because she doesn't want to fucking get with the real Romeo because that dude's fucking gay, which is cool. But she wants some dick that wants some pussy. So they get hitched, and Dorian is pumped. He's like, you know what? Henry told me to fucking live a little, and I fell in love, and he's right, and that's great. He goes back, and he tells Basil, and he tells Henry, he's like, guys, guess what? Got my dick on. And they're like, yeah. And he's like, and I love her. And they're like, whoa, easy, bro. He's like, what? What's your fucking problem? They're like, I don't know, getting some pussy's one thing, but fucking getting tied down is some loser shit. And he's like, fuck you guys, I'm fucking happy. What's your fucking problem? Got the same thing every night and you're not fucking happy about it. Fucking, when your friends aren't supportive, that's when you know they're not your real friends. That's the first cue. And they're like, how'd you even fucking meet this girl? And Dorian's like, she's an actress. She's kick ass. She killed it. I proposed. They're like, oh, you saw her crush as Juliet, and you felt like Romeo, real original. Which they're right. They're right. Moving a little too fucking fast, but, people were dying in their 50s, so you gotta hurry up and do it. He's like, guys, you come to her play. We'll go watch her again, and you'll see how hot she is and why I'm down to just, saddle up with just this one girl for the rest of my life. And Henry's like, okay, dude, should spend the rest of your life sucking dick and slinging pussy. But we'll go watch this play. They go watch this Shakespeare play. And mind you, I get lots of Shakespeare vibes through Oscar Wilde, which, Shakespeare is just in all things, really. The play sucks. Falls flat. Her acting's shitty, Anytime you try to see things twice, you're going to feel that way. That's, art is a magic trick. You watch anyone do their stand-up, watch her do their material twice, it's going to make you feel sick. Especially if you don't do stand-up, if you don't understand how that works, how you have to, practice it, because when it's done well, it feels like the first time it's done. Anyways, they go watch Sybil Vane. She sucks. And they're like, bro, dump the shitty actress. It makes you look bad. Or Henry. Basil didn't. I didn't say that. I think he can't remember. I feel like he's just like, yo, you're rushing into this. Anyways, Dorian is feeling a little bit. He's like, oh shit, the acting was shitty. Maybe she's not hot. Do we have anything in common? I don't know. He takes Henry's advice. He goes over and he's like, break up. He fucking dumps her, asshole, and she's distraught. He's like, gotta live my life. He's like, maybe, sometimes you gotta break up. You gotta dump a bitch, just go sling some dick. So he dumps her, and he goes home and he looks at the painting. He looks at the painting of himself, that beautiful one he had made, the fucking timeless looking one. And he notices his fucking portrait changes a little bit. It's had a small smirk to it, a faint one. He's like, did he draw that like that? Can't remember. I don't know. Then, next day, next whatever, turns out Sybil Vane, the actress, she didn't take the breakup so well. She killed herself. She died. It's reported she died. Dorian's like, holy fuck. Don't tell me that. That's fucking, come on now, man. I don't feel good. And I think Henry tries to comment. I was like, fucking, you don't know what happened. Anything could happen. Actresses live fucking crazy. And he's right. He's fucking right, man. But she killed herself. Because he's an asshole. It's his fault. And painting is a little fucking more hideous looking, but a little bit more like evil looking. And he don't feel good. He's like, what the fuck? I was just living my fucking life, and fucking the dude told me to go live, and I fell in love, and fuck, man. And then he told me to dump her, so I fucking dumped her, and he's talking about, fuck, it's not my fault, just get over it, and I got over it, but then she killed herself, and now the painting, what the fuck? This is fucked up, dude. Wake up, what the fuck? He didn't handle it well. He locks up the painting. And he's like, fuck it, man. I'm going to go fucking whatever. I'm going to shake it off. He acts like Don Draper. He's like, I'm going to shake it off and go do some shit. So then throughout the novel, now Dorian just like goes and it just says that he's doing insidious things. It doesn't describe any of the actions he's doing. It's basically like says that everybody he meets, their life turns to shambles, and he does these hideous deeds and builds a bad reputation, but no one knows it for sure. They just whisper it behind his back. And this is twofold. Like, there's a lot of stuff that I can feel Oscar Wilde, a lot of gay shit specifically, that he would be doing, that the character, I think, is doing in a draft in his head at least, because it's not described. And I know it's edited out. Not only by Oscar, but his editor, before he published it, the first run, edited a bunch of the actual homoeroticism in there. Because it's just alluded to, man. And that's, whatever. This is the version of the book we have. I'm interested to see what version he might have wrote if he wasn't worried about going to jail right on that fucking spot, or, people dragging him out and killing him for that type of shit. It's sad. But it describes that Dorian's going out and committing sin. And that also goes to what, like, the morality of the character, and Oscar Wilde struggling with the morality, everyone telling him that being gay is evil, because, if Dorian's going out and he's a single guy and he's doing gay shit, that's in no way is evil in any way, If he's preying on young boys, if he's doing that stuff, that would be evil. If he's actually hurting and killing people, he's Jeffrey Dahmering, that's certainly evil. But it's never in this book specified what Dorian Gray is doing. It's just saying that, around 20 years are going by, the painting just gets grotesque and gross and evil, and what other words do I have to describe bad, besides Indiana? It gets very Indiana looking. This painting, have you ever fucking been trapped around the locals of an Indiana town or anything, say South Bend or something, you get it looks like that painting, and the way it feels and sounds and smells, you know what I mean? His painting becomes that, but Dorian doesn't age a bit. He still looks 18 fucking years old, man. He looks like Justin Timberlake. He looks like Aaron Carter on this fucking set of Hillary Duff, the Hillary Duff movie, you know what I mean? Is beautiful looking, and people are like, what the fuck? He's going out doing evil shit. It's fucking, I don't understand. He looks the same. He's been dancing with the devil. And then years later, Basil comes to him, the painter, and he's like, Dorian, my friend, we need to talk. And Dorian's like, oh, Basil, sure, yeah, I ain't seen you in a while. What's up, dude? Acting like nothing fucking happened. Oscar Wilde doesn't actually tell us what happened. Basil's like, yo, you haven't aged a bit, and people say you're doing crazy shit, and people are like dying because of you or whatever, maybe, and their evil stuff happens to them, and what's the deal? Are you evil? Like I said, it's not specified in the novel what it is, but he's just like, are you this bad person I've been hearing these rumors about? And Dorian's like, you want to know the fucking truth? You want to know the truth? You cursed me, you son of a bitch. You want to fucking see? You made this painting about me. And it made my life go to fucking fuck. And you introduced me to this fucking guy, Henry. And he made me do this shit. Look at, you want to see? I'll show you this painting. Check this out. Whips out his fucking Ron Jeremy dick. And instantly Basil's like, wow. I wish I didn't see that. Oh my God. It's not good. You know, whenever you see like ugly people fuck, but they're having a good time. It's probably in Indiana. You know when that fucking happens? And they're enjoying themselves. You know when someone's like masturbating to the thought of like Notre Dame like winning the national championship, and you're like, oh man, I'm just mad about how happy you are actually, because that's what the painter sees, and he goes, hey, I didn't paint that. No. And he's, is that my signature? Holy shit, that is my signature. I didn't paint that. It's almost like an allegory too about like a parent whenever they rev their kid and their kid turns into a fuck off drug addict and starts a podcast, and they're like, oh, I didn't raise this. No, is that my oh no, I don't like it. Dorian's like, oh yeah, that's the real me. That's what I look like, motherfucker, on the inside. That's what I look like on the inside. All gross. You know, I'm all perfect. It's bullshit. It's AI. It's a face filter on Instagram. It's a bot. It's a bot watching your fucking stories that says, watch my pussy come, and you click on it. It's a bot. Dorian flips out on Basil. He's like, look at me! Ah! He takes his knife and he stabs Basil in the fucking neck. And I gotta be honest, the book is great, but at this point, I'm like, okay, I'm just, you know, you're reading so many words. But when he stabs him in the neck, you're like, whoa, Metallica, whoa, brr, brr, faster, faster. He kills him, and fuck, man, painting gets more gross. Keeps living his life. Dorian asks some dude to clean it up. The dude cleans it up. Then the dude kills himself because he can't take the pain. Dorian's like, that's some pussy ass shit. Fuck, I'm gonna Don Draper my way out of this. Then he goes to an opium den. Gets on heroin. Chinese opium dens. Never been to one. But if it was the 1800s, I think I would find one. Once in a while after work, when you get out on Friday, have a couple of fucking, you know, Red Bulls, head on down to the opium den. We'll speedball it out. Maybe some Monster Energy and some black tar heroin. I don't know. Be a good time. He goes there and he's getting high out of his mind. And Sybil Vane, the actress who he was once engaged to. Why is there fucking bullshit happening? To be married. Sybil Vane's brother shows up. The chick who killed herself earlier in the novel. And he finds Dorian. He's like, you're that motherfucker who was about to marry my sister, and then she killed herself. It's your fault, and now I'm here to kill you. And then Dorian goes, whoa, dude. Couldn't be. That was 20 years ago. Look how young I look. I look 18. And the guy's like, fuck. You're right. You're really young. Is this the wrong fucking Lebowski, man? This guy looks like a fucking loser, man. He's like, yeah, it's not me. And then that dude's like, all right, fuck. There's more than that, but he leaves. But then when he leaves, the dude accidentally gets shot by some hunters hunting. It's like everyone he comes into contact with, their fucking life is just fucked. You know, Dorian's an asshole. You know, which is, I'm wondering if that's what Oscar is thinking about his own life too. Because like, I don't know, like even the guy that he is, I don't know, he's having. Oscar Wilde is going through a morality thing in his head because people are telling him it's wrong to be gay. So he's got that. But he's also going out, and a lot of the people that he's having his real life sexual encounters with, I'm talking about Oscar Wilde, which I read about, are young boys and sex workers too. And so I think he's conflicted too about kind of being, preying on people who are, he's coming from a place of power at the time. He's a successful novelist, and there's it's not black or white. There's some shit too. So I think that's why it's so unspecified in the novel what Dorian Gray is or isn't doing, because for a lot of reasons, for tons of layers of reasons. Anyways, Dorian Gray tells Henry, he sees Henry, the dude who got him on this whole path of doing shitty stuff, which, who's to say that it's Henry's fault? You got to make your own decisions in life. It's a big theme of this novel too. It's like, do his words affect me? Does the painting affect me? Do I affect this? Why? Or do I have control over my own destiny? Am I just waking up and saying, fuck, my life sucks, and blaming everyone else when it's actually my whole initiative to take care of in the first place? I think it is. He tells Henry, he's like, I'm done being a fuck ass. And Henry's like, bullshit, who cares? And he's like, no, I'm done. I'm changing my ways today. Yeah, I'll believe it when I fucking see it. So then Dorian goes. He goes to his painting, which is hideous and very, South Bend looking. A lot of interbreeding going on amongst different, mostly just white races. And I'm a white person, but if you do a little too much Polish on Polish, it's going to get real, anger issues and thought process can't make out. Anyways, he looks at this painting, Dorian does, and he stabs it. He's like, fuck this, I will destroy it. Fuck my looks. And then he withers into an old man. It's the cool fucking thing. He killed the painting, so he's got to die now. He withers into this old man. And I can't remember if in the book it has him stabbed, because in some of the movies he's stabbed, as if he stabbed the painting, but it stabbed him. Anyways, he's dead. And the painting has returned to the young, beautiful, perfect Justin Timberlake, Lance Bass, fucking Aaron Carter. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay? The end. The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. What do you guys think? Think it was good? I think it was a lovely, lovely novel. I think it was great. I don't understand why there's not more adaptations about this. And I don't know, and I'm not sure if there is or not. There should be a movie about Oscar Wilde's life, man. His whole life, and have a lot of this in it. Have like the Dorian Gray, have him going through his trials, have him at the play with the importance of being earnest. His life sounds fucking wild because, I don't know, man. Art conceals the artist. It doesn't reveal it. It's some things he says. That's just amazing. We really need to see that. I would like to. I think I would be highly entertained by it. Anyways, adaptations. There was a 2009 version. Did not really like it. It was tried to go for this horror element. It just wasn't very good. There's a 73 and a 45 version. This 45 version is plain black and white behind me, which are pretty damn good too, and pretty damn good to the faithful to the novel. I feel, in terms of the characters pontificating about men versus women and morality and what art's influence on society and all this shit, and those are very good. Also, I love The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I love that fucking movie. I should read that graphic novel. It should be more of that, Big nerd for that. Where do I want to go with this? I got a little vocab, and I want to go over his epigrams or some of the fucking tweets from this book I pulled. But first, let me go over to some vocab. I started writing down every fucking word from this novel or underlining and looking up the definition for everything I didn't know, because I like doing that. And it just got to be too fucking much. I could have spent like 3 more hours doing this shit. It started to piss me off, tell you the truth. But here's a bunch of them. Let me try and zip through them. I hope it's not too fucking boring. Here's the vocab that I learned or am trying to learn and will probably forget because words are fucking hard. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If anyone wants a water break, feel free to take one. Tune out. Just keep it playing. Maybe you just like the rolling sound of my voice. That's a compliment in itself. You know, most people only listen to like the first 20 minutes of a podcast anyways, so if I got you now, it's just easy listening. Take a hit. Learn some vocab. All right. Moo. M-O-U-E. Means to pout or grimace. This dude likes to try and use big words, right? By the way. Like, don't use a $10 word if a 10-cent word will do. He don't follow that. Hellenic. It means Greek. The Hellenic Republic. Mars. To disfigure. Ooh, to mar one and the Mars. Yes. Staccato. Sharply detached. Okay. Caprice. Unaccountable. Change of mood. Vermilion. Vivid reddish orange. Panegyric. Public speech or text of praise for someone. Uncouth. Lacking sophistication, delicacy, or manners. Amethyst. A violet purple stone. Divan. Large couch designed to be a bed. Pallid. Pale, poor health. Lithe, bending readily. Fidelity, faithfulness to a person, cause, or a belief. Handsome, two-wheeled horse-drawn carriage. Oh, not the handsome you thought it was. Collieries, coal mine. A Tory, like a Tory, is an American colonist that supports the UK. Fuck Brexit! Or support it, I don't know. English Blue Book, the collection of diplomats. Humbug, to deceive or trick. Egad, expressing anger or surprise. I don't know if I said that right. Selby, gender neutral name meaning man or village. Jarvis, it's a hackney coach. What the fuck? Steeplechase, horse race course. A protege, person who is guided. I know what a protege is, but I want to know if it had a little more to that. Checks means British check. Travail is painful effort. Carnal, physical, or sexual. Oh, yeah, carnal knowledge, fucking physical. Buonatari, Michelangelo. Supercilious, behaving superior. Your supercilious behavior is just unacceptable. East End, the dense east part of London. Iridescent, he uses this a lot. Luminous colors that change from different angles. Bashante, beast of Bacchus. But you know what? Fuck this. I'm done. I thought this was going to be... I was like, this is too much. This will just be for me. Okay, if I need to come back... I'm just saying shit at this point. Fuck the vocab section. That's enough. Okay? What I did do, though, is I underlined cool things he said. Now, I got to rhythm. One of my favorite playwrights is Edward Albee, and I couldn't help but feel Oscar Wilde and Edward Albee after reading this, because Edward Albee has a couple terms he uses in his plays. His characters always say, "at any rate," or "my dear fellow," whenever they're starting conversation, they're like, "at any rate, this happened," or "my dear fellow, this." And I've read that a lot in Oscar Wilde, and I was like, oh, he's probably getting that because he's, he's great authors, obviously. Who else are you going to read? We all read the greats. He's also a gay dude, and Edward Albee has this gay thing going on. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Might be a dick for just assuming that. I don't know. Anyways, thought that was interesting. Here are some bangers of, like, words that Oscar Wilde laid down, like just phrases that you can pull from this book that are cool. First one is Words. Mere words. I love that. Yeah, it's not like words aren't powerful, but it's like, yo, if it's too powerful, just be like, it's just a word. Shut the fuck up, you know. To be good is to be in harmony with oneself. Discord is to be forced to be in harmony with others. When they took lovers, it was merely to have someone with whom they could have scenes. Shit talking some fake relationships. When we blame ourselves, we feel no one else has a right to blame us. Fuck, I'm so stupid. No one else can say I'm stupid. Finally, he succeeded and nothing could... Oh, no, it says... Finally, he succeeded and nothing could exceed his disappointment. That's crazy, man. That's just something I get more scared of all the time when you get, you know, close to accomplishing certain goals. You're like, I don't want to, like, get there and realize I don't like it. Finally, he succeeded and nothing could exceed his disappointment. This is another one. Art conceals the artist more than it reveals him. Yeah. To the true romantic, background was everything. I feel like you gotta set the vibe, you know. There is no pleasure in taking in a husband who never sees anything. If all you're gonna do is sit on your ass and watch the game, now I'm gonna go out and get some fucking dick. To cure the soul by means of the senses, and senses by means of the soul. You gotta be out, you gotta be out, you gotta be better. This is my favorite quote, I think, from the whole book that I think about every time I get pissed off or just liking too much, and you're like, I gotta let go. Passion makes one think in a circle. Passion makes one think in a circle. It does, man. When you're fucking mad at somebody or something, it's all you can think about. Or even when you're happy about it, it's all you can think about. And we go in circles. We gotta wind out of them too. Because, as this next one says, one's days are too brief to take the burden of another on one's shoulders. You be worried about that shit, man. Second favorite quote in the whole book. And mind you, the book people didn't think was the shit till the dude was almost dead. To be popular, one must be a mediocrity. That's a double truth. And I like Snickers bars. I like Pepsi. I like The Simpsons. You know? But these fuckers find themselves at the middle. We can have in life one great experience at best, and the secret of life is to recreate that experience as often as possible. You're living in the past, man. In the common world of fact, the wicked were not punished, nor the good rewarded. That's true. It's like, yo, being a good person doesn't mean you get good shit. Doesn't mean you get bad shit, but it just doesn't, it's not like 1 + 1 = fucking 2 all the time. Art has a soul, man have not. Ooh, that's some fucking thoughts. Anything is a pleasure if done too often. Yeah, I'm trying to cut back on this podcast too. Life has been your art. You have set yourself to music. Your days are your sonnets. He died a penniless drunk. 46. Dude, ravish him. Dude, when you fucking have to go to jail just for where you put your dick. Holy shit. One of the great writers of our time. I feel him very much with the Jordan Leer program. Just how he's, multimedia. He likes to do this shit, and, people try to define you, tell like, oh, you're an actor. Do this acting and be that actor and just do this. Here's my advice on what you should do and just do that. Or, if you want to be a musician, it's that. It's like, oh, just get really good at that. Don't do anything else. Like, fuck you. I'll fucking draw a picture, fucking write a song, write a sonnet. Maybe I'll do none of those things. Maybe I'll get a fucking job and help someone repair their house. Maybe that's my art. Maybe I'll watch something. Maybe that's my art. It's interesting to look at a bunch of writings of an artist and be inspired by them. Like, oh man, Oscar Wilde influenced me. It's like, okay, dude died alone and drunk. Just saying, take it easy, man. Take it easy. That's what someone needed to tell Dorian Gray. Like, hey, you want to go give some pussy? You want to go some dick? That's fine. You want to not do it? That's fine too. But just like, either way, chill out about it. Don't let it consume you. Even if you're not going to do it, don't make that your whole thing. Like, I'm just never going to get fucking drunk. Okay, just chill out, Picture of Dorian Gray. Great novel. Oscar Wilde. Great writer. That was the program.
Okay, not a big Oscar Wilde crowd here. Okay, all right. No, nobody's read the poem, the Ballad of Reading Gal. Okay, all right. Motherfuckers. Tennessee Williams, every fucking play is just, I just want to be the person I'm meant to be. It's like, we just suck some cock and come back, okay? Have a different point of view. You don't have to write 80 plays about fucking being a closeted gay. Oscar Wilde. I love the picture of Dorian Gray. I love it. I don't know what to say about that. I wish I would have wrote this, but hey, he's like, get the fuck out of here. You motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here. I will.
Keep going for Jordan Leer, the world's most literate construction worker.